So far this year, my AI business has made $625,208 as a 19-year-old.
You are missing out. You are missing out. I have made thousands of dollars, and I'm not even exaggerating.
In the next 30 seconds, you're about to watch a man go from stuck under $10,000 a month to 6 figures with one simple fix. And you can copy exactly what I told him.
What you want to do is you want to target Airbnb hosts with luxury listings. Why? Because they have a description. In that description, before a person books, they always read amenities that come with it, different places they can experience when they're there, and all of that stuff, if it's a very good description. But guess what? If they have your service in there, hey, we'll also put a word in for you with this yacht experience while you're in town. Leveraging, think about it. Airbnb is one of the most visited websites in the entire world. And then when you think of places like Los Angeles, Vegas, Miami, imagine how much traffic those top luxury listings get on a daily. And if you plant your offer right in the middle of the description, when they get a customer, you'll get a customer. That's the whole goal. For when they do all the hard work and promotion to get a customer, that customer automatically becomes yours. Okay? So Airbnb.
Those creates a synergy is what I'm getting from that, basically, because you already got your partner for the rental company.
Yes.
You're just outreaching your offer stack and then partner with them as well to just be like, hey, can you put my business card on your table for me, please?
See? So you're controlling the supply and the demand. That's it's inevitable. It makes it inevitable. If you control both, see, that's the problem. A lot of the times we try to become the best at one. I'm going to have the most demand, or I'm going to have the most supply. But it was a lie when we heard if you build it, they will come. Just because you got the supply doesn't mean people see it. If you build a store, but it's on a dead end street, nobody knows, right? So you have to control the supply and the demand. Okay, so next up is event planners. Event planners. You tell them, look, I want to be your go-to guy for an extra luxury experience. Right? You already got the transportation with the limo company. You already got the food people. You already got the decor for all these different things and stuff like that. Let me be your high-end luxury experience partner. They're gonna say, okay, cool. Right? How I like to approach partners, you don't want to make any promises, but I like to approach with money, not out of pocket. See, I know a lot of people probably just like, with what they're going to be getting anyway. Basically, you'll calculate, right? On average, this search term or this type of company gets this many type of visitors to their site. With our offer stack, they'll probably increase their conversions this percentage, blah, 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 blah. If you do the math on that, that's an extra, we'll just say $15,000 a month for them. So that's what I was saying. Hey, I'm bringing you $15,000 if you be my partner. Boom, right? I'm bringing you an extra $15,000 a month if you be my partner.
Not a promise and theoretical, but still,
Exactly.
It's still throwing a price tag in front of them.
Exactly. It's in their attention. They can at least ask a couple questions. You say, how would that work? Well, you don't have this in place. I supply that, right? So you supply that part. I supply this part. We both make more money. I get a cut because I put mine on top, and you get a cut because when they come to me, it's an extra sale that you had nothing to do with. You didn't have to do any of the fulfillment or none of the work or anything like that. So, boom. It's a perfect partnership. Like you said, synergy earlier. Right? So we got event planners, wedding planners, concierge services, resorts, luxury car rental companies. Step 3 is to build the strategic partnerships, because this is your lead engine. This is going to be the replacement for the expensive Google ads and Facebook ads. This is going to replace you having to do SEO for 6 months to a year before you even know if people want what you have. Okay? People, a lot of people came to me asking me, why do I barely talk about SEO anymore? Why do I barely do that? Because I discovered the power of joint ventures. I discovered the powers of integration marketing. Finding traffic, finding intersections, and just plopping my McDonald's location right there. That means I can save money on ads, SEO, commercials, billboards, and all of that extra stuff. I'll find the highway and place my hotel there. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to find those partners that already have a lot of visibility and authority, and you're going to plop your offer right in their location. And that's going to bring you numerous leads, okay? So it says, this is where most people get it wrong. And you can scrape, or you can get Apollo, and you can scrape rich people by job title, by profession, by industry, and then you can put all of those leads into instant lead, and you can schedule it out for you to just be messaging them through cold email, like, hey man, look, we have this yacht right here, man. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. And you can get some results from that too. But the thing is this, it takes a lot more convincing that way. Why? Because they're not in the market. Nobody has to convince people to buy bread when they're already in the grocery store. But if you're walking down the street and somebody run up to you and say, buy this loaf of bread from me, it's not that you don't like bread. It's, dude, I'm on my way to the movies right now. You know, like what the hell am I doing in the movies? Sitting there with a loaf of bread. Right? And that's why it's so difficult for us to make sales, because we're not catching people where they already are in the mind of purchasing or renting.
Right.
We're catching them right there in the moment. And integration marketing, aka joint ventures, allow us to strategically place ourselves there in the moment when they're already purchasing something. Right? So if someone comes to in a helicopter experience website, right? They're already in the mindset of, I want to do something unbelievable that I'll never forget with my wife or my friends or for some event or something. They're already in that mindset. So if the helicopter tour of the city says includes discount on yacht experience, they're already there. They're like, why not add that? You know, it's just like when you go to McDonald's, you're already getting your burger. You just had a taste for a burger. That's all you went there for. You just wanted a burger. You saw the commercial and they had some new version of the Big Mac. They had more bacon on it or some crap like that. You're like, I'm about to go get that. I want the burger. But before they let you drive off, what do they ask you?
You want Coke, you want fries, what else you want?
Do you want some fries with that? Do you want a supersize? Blah, blah, blah. You're already there. You're already in buying mode. And you weren't thinking about it. But the suggestion is less forceful than if you were just out somewhere else, not even telling anybody you were hungry. So you say, what the hell? Go ahead. Give me a extra large or something like that, right? Or give me a shake. You know, make sure there's no glass in the machine this time, right? Right? So it's just like that. It's difficult for us to make sales. Even me. Like I struggle with making sales a lot of the time because your positioning is not on par with what the customer is trying to do at the time. If it's not winter, then and you're selling coats, it's not that people don't know that they need a coat. It's just like it's hot as hell right now. They haven't felt the chill yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, you might want to come back later. You know what I'm saying? So we want to catch people where they are in the mode to buy already. And that's why strategic partnerships are far more effective than ads or any of that stuff.
Kind of with the booking conflicts, that's pretty much, you already said, we're going to just handle that straight up, just manually until we're able to plug in API-wise to their calendar. So that you already asked that.
Let me tell you, for anybody that watched this, that didn't watch it in the beginning or something like that. So the question is, all right, when they come to the website and they're ready to make a payment, you know, how do we collect the payments? When we collect the payments, we have to do that manually first. These are extremely high ticket. This is an extremely high ticket niche that you would not be able to use PayPal or Stripe with if you care about the customer's money, if you care about maintaining a partnership with the supplier either. PayPal, Stripe, they will lock up that money and the customer or you and the partner might not ever see it, or the customer will get a refund, but the partner will stop working with you. Okay? PayPal, Stripe, that stuff is not set up to accept those type of large payments like that. They're not going to let you just take an $18,000 payment in PayPal without locking your stuff up for 180 days. Even if you call them and give them the heads up, they're still going to do it. Okay? So what you want to do eventually is you want to reach out to someone like PayKings after you've done maybe 1 to 3 months of accepting payments with your business. You're going to reach out to them. You're going to give them the bank statements and the transaction history. And then they will create a custom payment gateway on your site, so where people can automatically use their credit cards or whatever they're going to make payments with, and you won't have to do the wire transfers or whatever it is anymore like that, unless somebody has to break up payments or something like that, depending on how large the transaction is going to be. But you'll be able to start automating it a little bit better. Also, with the fixed hours and stuff like that, with a custom gateway, then you would be able to, hey, if you want to add another 2 hours and all of that stuff, you can do that, but you won't have to manually do nothing at that point. But right now, not right now. Right?
No, not right now. So there was a question in one of the videos as well, as you talked about getting the partner to post their information on your website. Now, how would I go about doing that? Or do I just do the old way and just kind of poach what I like on their stuff and then just take the pictures and copy and paste that information on my site?
I'm thinking, I don't know, it's been a while since I looked at the video you're talking about. I'm thinking you're talking about a directory, like if you went and made your own directory.
Right, because we're going to have to make a website, which will essentially be a directory, because we'll have to have several partners.
And all that stuff. Right now, you just want to work with them first. Because then, like you said, they'll know you're serious. right? They'll know you're serious enough to be able to go and do that. Nobody even likes filling out a job application. Nobody likes filling out anything. So since you're going to have a directory, but it's going to be an unknown directory, if you just send that to them right now, they're just going to look at it and say, you know what I'm saying? So you want right now, you want to just handle as much as you have to handle. Maybe after you get 3 to 5 transactions done with them, where they've actually collected the customer and collected the money, and you're like, look, we can streamline a lot of this stuff. Just go and put your stuff on here and all of that. You can do it like that. But right now, you don't really need to do all that. Right now, only thing the person needs to see your assets is customers for it. All right, simple JV commission structure breakdown. So we want to keep it easy, no complicated tiers and stuff. A lot of the time I teach you guys the hybrid model, right? And you can do that if you have some type of agency or something like that. But if you're just trying to get the sales, you're just trying to get the money right now, whatever, you don't have to even focus on the hybrid model until you're trying to figure out how can I scale up without having to get more partners or like go to another city or something like that. Then you can start plugging in the 10 monetizations, because then they'll trust you. They'll trust you to be able to do something like that. You got to bring them money first before they'll trust you to do anything like that. All right. So, got these simple models. Number one is the percentage split. And this one is the most common one. You can mark up the charter or receive commission from the operator themselves. So the example would be operator price $2,500. You sell it for $3,000. Okay. So of course your margin would be what? $500. So you give the partner 10 or 20% of your margin. Yeah, I know who the partner is. The partner would be the Airbnb person or the wedding planner or whoever it is that brought you the customer. So it's 3 parties, just in case you are confused watching it. You, the distribution partner, which would be like the Airbnb host or something, and the supplier, which is the one that got the yacht. So everybody got to get paid, right? So you sell it for $3,000 or $3,500. That's more like it for me. $3,500 because you're doing an offer stack. I got these prices here without the offer stack. This is just like if you were just selling it as is and marking it up $500. But how I teach you guys, you never want to do a markup without adding value, which is why we have the offer stack. So if you're going to do the offer stack, I would do $3,500 instead of just a flat $3,000, because then that will give you $1,000 for your margin, and then you can give your partner 10 to 20% of that. Okay. So the Airbnb host, as an example, you and the yacht company, the 3 parties, everybody got to get paid. All right.
You would give the partner, the supplier that you're promoting for, you give them about 10, 20%.
No.
Then you're talking about the distribution.
The yacht person gets the $2,500.
Yeah, right. Okay. So that was because that's their normal. That's all they see is what they're charging. And then if somebody's bringing you the clients, like we're bringing them clients, is where we pay those. So the distributor gets the 10 to 20% is what you were talking about.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that myself before I completely screwed pooch on that.
We get to leverage that. It's kind of like time travel, because it would have taken you years to build that, and you get to do it like that. Okay, so that's why the partnerships are powerful. You want to put a magnifying glass on the partnerships while the sun is beaming. Okay, so now you built a distribution network instead of chasing customers. And this is what I'm still laying the foundation down for AJU, Animalist, and I'm forgetting my own stuff. Profit Positioning Partners. Those are my 3 main companies that I'm building this year. Okay, and I don't want to have to chase customers. For AJU, I don't want to have to chase students. So instead of me doing what Udemy does, Udemy and all these other companies and stuff, they'll charge the teachers or the course creators a percentage.
Right.
When the course creators are the ones that have the students. I don't know. I want them to bring me all their students. So I ain't charging you nothing. I'm not charging. Bring me all your students, please. Hurry, right? Other ones, you want it to be like that with your partners. You want them to want to bring you people. So it has to be like, you want it to be such a good deal for them that they feel like they're playing you. You want them to think, look at this dummy. He doesn't know I'm getting them a car. Right? You want them to think that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Like that.
Because now you have a distribution network. And you didn't have to build it from scratch. Anytime you want to put out a promotion, you simply hit up your partners and like, hey, we changed the prices on this, or we added this. This comes with this, blah, blah, blah. And they can send an update out to their network. And then their customers become part of your ecosystem. So you can upsell them other stuff without even having to go through them. Okay? So step 4, make it easy for partners to sell for you. Remember, you don't want to have to like, hey, let me talk to them. No. The moment the people see your face, they have questions. We want sales without questions. You want to know how this works? You ever, I don't know if you ever been a part of a company that got bought out and was under new management.
Yeah.
If you notice, a lot of the smart companies that buy other companies like Disney, PayPal, a lot of them, you don't even know what companies they own. You still think that company is independent. Come to find out, they're owned by that big company. And the reason is, they don't change the name, and they don't really change too much of the operations. Why? Because of employee and customer loyalty. If you go in there like, yeah, there's a new sheriff in town, half of the club leaves. Right? Oh, I only kept coming to this restaurant because I grew up with his son and my grandfather knew his grandfather. You lose all of that, right? So we don't have to always be the face of everything. So what we put together behind the scenes can be voiced and messaged by our partners. That way, none of the trust and authority is broken off, right? All right, so make it easy for partners to sell for you. All right, number 2, define one clear experience. You don't want to have a million. Like if you, well, you've been around for a while. You know that I teach people to make like an offer stack and, you know, for the irresistible offer.
Yes.
And you've been around for a while. So that means during the party bus times, you remember, people would ask me, well, David, what if somebody says I need it for 6 hours or 8 hours? Or what if somebody says I need it for, like, what were they saying? Like,
Wow.
it was a whole bunch of stuff that people was trying to like change the variables. I said, no, you need to have fixed pricing, fixed offers.
Yeah,
right?
blocks, I believe, is what you framed it as. It was just blocks. So this is what you get. The same way as going to buy a pair of shoes. This is what you're getting. As shoes, you want a different pair of shoes, get a different item. I believe that was your comparison.
Yeah, once we got the money, if it needs to be personalized, it'll be done on the other side, and then we can send an invoice, right? But in order for us to start automating stuff, every order can't be different. The reason, what separates local businesses from online businesses is scalability, the ability to like scale without bottlenecks, you know. And if everybody can have a different order that needs to be fulfilled, and you have limited resources or limited staff or limited vehicles and all of that extra stuff, and there's limited days in a week, limited hours in a day, it's going to be extremely difficult, near impossible to grow a company, a local company, when you don't productize things. So if you wanted to grow faster, it needs to be productized, right? So if you don't want, let's say you don't want to have to answer the calls, or you don't want to have to deal with customers all the time. If you got clear blocks and they can only choose from these, then there's no confusion there. They either take one of those or they go somewhere else. No headaches. Right? So do not offer 17 different yacht sizes. Do not offer 8 different packages. Do not offer 25 different pricing options. Offer one main hook. Okay? So if you remember the party bus site, I don't even know if it's still up.
I haven't seen it in a long time. You only had 3 offers on there. You picked like a medium of the road of that size bus is what it was, I think, because you tried to tailor it in a general fashion. It's like the smaller buses, maybe it's like an elderly type traffic thing. They just need to get a lot of people on, you know, older folks on a bus, and they need to rent one. Or it's like a small group that wants to go somewhere, and then they have the bigger actual party buses, like companies, and then you have like birthday parties and all that other kind of stuff. So yeah, you tried to generalize it, I believe.
I only had like four offers on there, 4 different buses. It was like I think 18 passenger or 20, something like 28, something like that. 18, then 28, and then I think like 35 passenger bus. My partner was in St. Louis. I didn't talk them down, like they talked themselves down. That's why I say you want to go through some partners and pick the best ones. My partner, he was like, "Yo, I'll do the 4 to 6 hour block for $400." I'm like, what? What? I was calling around with everybody else. Everybody else was talking about $900 to $1,000, you know, and stuff like that. So he said like $400. I was like, So I chose him, and then I got like 2 other people that were similar to him, but he was number 1, and that gave me margins like that were crazy. So I would charge what everybody else was charging, but I would give him his 400 or sometimes 500, and I would keep 400 to 600 sometimes and all of that for myself just by being the connector. But it made it easy for me because I didn't have to always go and calculate what somebody was getting. You know what I'm saying? Especially since the different softwares and stuff that they have now wasn't available back then, or I didn't know them anyway. So I would have to manually, if somebody said, "Yo, I want 6 hours instead," or "Yo, I want it," I'm like, "Listen, you can talk to them about that, you know, when you get there." But on my site, you buy the 4 hour or the 6 hour block. That's them the only options we have. When you get there, if you need an extra 2, you let him know, and then they'll tell me, and I get my cut from that or something like that. But right now, just pay on my site or just send me the invoice, blah blah blah. You know, so you wanted to be able to, you know, gain momentum. For our private yacht experience in Miami, captain and crew included, up to 10 guests. That's it. Of course, you want to do your offer stack, You know what I'm saying? Like, that it might include transportation or something, like a romantic night on the town. If it's not a corporate event or something with a limo or something, you'll put that inside the offer stack. But that is what they'll choose. They can't go and, change it. And, that'll come later when you can accept the payments on your site. So for anybody wondering right now, they might be like, yo, is custom payment gateways you can put on the site and stuff like that to start doing that. This is not Shopify. These are extremely high ticket payments you're going to be accepting. You're not selling drop shipping some baby bottles or some jackets for the snow or something. Some of these payments will be extremely high ticket, right? What is that? High risk.
Right.
So what do I mean by that? If you go to something like PayKings, have you ever heard of PayKings before?
I have not.
Well, PayKings, they deal with high-risk merchants, CBD, dope industry, all of that stuff. Anything that could risk chargebacks or lawsuits or be inappropriate, casinos, all that type of stuff like that. Since it's such high risk, because you're dealing in high-ticket and you're in the entertainment industry, the hospitality industry, they would want you to bring 3 to 6 months bank statements of you collecting payments with your business before they would put the custom gateway on the site. Now, for those of you who are trying to be defiant, trust me, I already know what you're thinking. I can just set that up on Stripe or PayPal. Go ahead. Dude, I've been doing this since 2014. Try it.
They throttle everything if it's high.
Right. Like, if you have any experience with PayPal or Stripe, you know that getting anything over $1,000 can get your account frozen for like 21 days. If that account is not warmed up and primed, now imagine someone sending $18,000 from a credit card into a PayPal account that's not used to getting the payment over $100.
You won't ever see that money again, I bet.
Exactly. They will freeze that account, hold it for 180 days, even though you calling them, and even if you call them with the customer online on the call. The only option, dude, and PayPal will hold it no matter what. Stripe will give them their money back at least, but PayPal will hold their money for 180 days. And you will be looked at like a scam or a fraud from not just the customer, but from the client that you was, because guess what's going to happen? They paid. So your partner, the yacht company, is still going to have to fulfill that $18,000 experience.
For nothing.
Because of you.
No.
Lawsuits. So try PayPal or Stripe if you want to. Like I said, the best thing for you to do at this time would be get to some type of peer-to-peer payment platform like Zelle, or even better, an actual real bank account that allows wiring. That is your safest bet. Wholesaling, like real estate wholesaling?
Very little, because it was one of those things. I'm like, you need a lot of money to get into that anyway, unless you know people.
I mean, yeah. So what you do is you find a very motivated, extremely motivated seller. They might say that they want to sell the house for $100K. You talk them down to $70K. Then you calculate the after repair value, like how much will it be worth after like the repairs and everything like that. It might be worth $120 or something like that then, right? So you go sell it for $120, the projected value, like after repairs, and you keep the in between. You give the buyer their keys and you give the seller their $70,000, and you keep the in between. So you mark up and then you decrease. You mark up for the buyer, you decrease for the seller. It's exactly the same process with this.
Yeah, I was trying to describe this to people as well. the more I talked about it, I was like, it sounds really simple, and I know that I'm missing something. There's no way.
No.
It's
Simple.
simple, but not easy.
Simple but not easy.
Yeah.
The steps are easy. It's just getting over our mindsets, getting over, our fears and securities, and motivating ourselves and being disciplined with it. That's the difficult part.
You did mention LLC. Strategically, that'd be the right move, right? To just go ahead and start one up and then do this. I mean, I don't know if it's, and you're still conducting business, and this is going to be more than t-shirts.
To protect myself.
No, yeah.
What's up with a legal professional? I'm going to say is me and a lot of my students, we didn't go back until we already proved the model. That's right. I didn't say, I'm not telling anybody,
I've seen a lot of that as I've been reading, is that you can do a proof of concept as long as it's not full blown over a certain amount, kind of crazy, to where you could be, I don't know, as I've read about it under legal terms, it's like you can do up to basically a certain amount of proof of concept before you have to do anything legally. So I was going to try to stick with that myself to see how that would work out. And because to me, it works good.
Look at it like this. I know people that got like 5 to 10 freaking LLCs. Only do something with 2, right? A lot of the times we're not even serious about the ideas we get. So we don't want to go around setting up everything and spending money for everything. And we end up saying, you know what? I'd rather do this over here. You know what I'm saying? But it's about being confident in what you're going to do. That's how I look at it. And if I'm sure this is what I'm going to be doing, now I can start investing in it and putting more money into it and, getting people to help me with it and all of that and talking about it publicly. If it's just going to be something that I thought was cool 6 months ago and I'm never going to do it again, then, yeah.
New shiny thing syndrome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that I'm not looking for that.
Oh, all right, let me go ahead and put up a Facebook ad. No, your mind needs to automatically go to who already has my customers.
That I can understand, because I was in sales way back when, and that part I can understand. It's the whole techie SEO and all that stuff. I'm like, all of that takes so long to do.
Rank on audience.
Yeah.
When you want to get pumped up and hype, cold calling. He used to always say, just you're supposed to look yourself in the mirror and say, "Who got my money, baby?" And you'll get hyped up because you're thinking about it, and you're like, that is my money. Like they literally like standing in between me and my money, right? So it'll get you like past the nerves of doing a cold calling. You know what I'm saying? But I look at it in a similar way, and because the customers, other people already have the audiences, other people already have the customers. Even you just mentioned SEO. Like if I wanted to rank on the first page of Google, I wouldn't even start doing anything with a website right now. I would look at who is already ranking on the first page of Google for parallel services. That way it won't be a conflict of interest. So those wedding planners, those event planners, those high-end luxury services, those resorts and all of that, I'll see who's ranking on the top of Google, and I'll say, hey, how much would it cost for ad space, or what do you think an extra income stream? Don't have money. Pages to top. A lot of times these pages say, how you gonna do that? Well, I got a yacht service. I'll just with my yacht service on this page right here, that's already right here. And when people come to me, I'll give you a cut. That's how you do it. That's how I'm doing SEO from now on. I'm not doing SEO like that. I don't feel like another Google update. I don't feel like them closing me out of the snack pack anymore. I don't feel like any of that stuff. So I'm going to leverage other people's hard SEO work and months and years and money and all of that. And I'm going to find a strategic way of collaborating with them that's mutually beneficial and lucrative for both parties.
Like that.
That way you get to jump ahead in line. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we want to make it easy for them. We don't want them to have to come, figure out how to sell something new and all of that. So if you could just simply give them what they're going to need, whether that's in the form of a card or a brochure or an image that they can just paste on their site or something like that. Hey, make it as easy as possible for them to become a partner. If you got to give them the email, whatever it is, make it as easy as possible for their customers to become your customers.